of the Create Your Perfect Outfit Challenge. So really, really excited to get started with this. I'm just going to wait a couple of seconds, let everybody sign on. But if you're here and you're live, go ahead and comment and say hi. Tell me where you're from. So anyway, I'm so excited to get started on this because this is one of the things I get asked about the most is outfits. I get asked about outfits the most because let's face it, outfits are a daily necessity. Most of us can't spend our lives not wearing clothes. And so getting dressed every single day is something that we all have to do. It's an activity that we all have in common. We may not have a lot of other things in common, maybe not our age, maybe not our location or our body or our career, but we all have to get dressed every single day. So this is something that just is so practical and relevant. And I want to give you some tools that you can use that can make this process easy. So like I said, hop into the comments, say hi. I am live now on Facebook in our Facebook group, in the private Facebook group for the challenge, and on YouTube. So wonders of modern technology, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's get started talking about outfits. One of the things last night before I went to sleep, I was watching some vintage TV commercials on YouTube just as I was brushing my teeth and doing my evening routine, my skincare, all the things. And so the Folgers commercial came up, and my husband and I were talking about old slogans and old commercial jingles that we remember from our childhood. And let me know in the comments if you remember the old Folgers jingle, the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup, right? I know a lot of you still feel that way about your morning coffee. I know I love my morning tea and really could not get started without my morning cup of English breakfast tea with agave and a little bit of skim milk. That's my morning Folgers coffee. So the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. Now, a lot of people could relate to that because they got up in the morning and they just looked forward to that morning cup of coffee, right? What if you could wake up in the morning and look forward to getting dressed? Like, what if you still drink Folgers? Yay. What if you could wake up in the morning and just really look forward to getting dressed? Just have outfits that you walk into your closet and you're just excited to put them on. You're just excited to get dressed. You're excited about what you get to wear that day, about how it makes you feel and how it expresses your personality, how flattering it is, how comfortable it is, how easy it is, how it works with your lifestyle. What if you just got up every morning and you were just excited to put your clothes on? Like, wouldn't that be a novelty? I will tell you as somebody who has practiced the ritual, the habit of putting my clothes out the night before every single night, most of my life. The mornings when I have not done that, and when you wake up in the morning not knowing what you're going to wear, it changes your morning, waking up and saying, I know what I'm going to wear, and I know it's awesome, and I'm excited to put it on. So what if you could wake up every morning with that feeling, knowing that you knew what you were going to put on, knowing that it worked for your body, and it worked for your lifestyle, and it made you feel beautiful? That's my goal for this challenge. That's my goal for my Ageless Style program. That's the goal of everything that I do. So in case you don't know me, my name is Netta Manley. I am the founder of the Ageless Style program. I have a YouTube channel, Netta Manley Style, and you can find me on Instagram and you can find me on Facebook, all Netta Manley Style. So let's talk about style over 40 and outfits over 40 for a second. One of the things I wanted to mention, good morning, Tennessee, love your coffee. Good morning. Does anybody else remember that ad, or is it just me? Am I the only person in the group who remembers the Folgers ads? I'm just totally giving away my age. But I am going to be launching a new round of my Ageless Style program on March 22nd. And I was talking to the women in the program. We have a small and tight-knit Facebook group in there. And honestly, one of the things that has been a blessing for us in 2020 and now going into 2021 is the sense of community in that program. Everybody in the program has a style sister, and the style sisters in that program, and then just the community as a whole, has given us all something to look forward to, and a sense of, like I said, a sense of community, a sense of sisterhood, a sense of kind of all being in this together. It's one of the things that the women in my program have really looked forward to, is getting to talk to each other, getting to interact with each other, and just that sense of community. So I hope you're feeling that, and I'm glad someone else remembers. I hope you're feeling that in here as well, and that we're in this together. We're here to support you. We're cheering you on. And this can really be something that you look forward to doing every single day. Connecting with other women in a community, getting dressed, getting out there, feeling your absolute best, right? Okay, so I'm going to get into talking about body type, because that's why we're here today, right? There are 3 ways to look at your body type, and we go into all of these in depth in the Ageless Style program. So when you're looking at an item of clothing, it's got to flatter your body 3 different ways. It's got to flatter your body horizontally. Your horizontal body type, which is really what we're going to do an overview of today, that's your silhouette. That's the outline of your body. If you were to lay down on the ground, when you did snow angels and you put your arms out like that, that is the outline of your body. And when we're talking about your horizontal body, for the most part, your horizontal body, your skeleton, hey, good morning, your skeleton, your structure, that does not change. This is why when people say, oh, I'm going to wait to join the program, or I'm going to wait to start working on my body type, I'm going to wait to start working on my outfits until I've lost the weight, I always say, you don't need to wait to lose the weight. Most of the components that we're going to be talking about today don't change with your weight. They stay the same. So there's no, and really honestly, the time in your life when you most need to feel flattered in your clothes and to choose clothes that are flattering for you is when you are struggling with your weight, or when you're going through a weight transition. So I'm just adding a couple more people joining in. Okay, so that's when you're really going to need that support the most. When you really need to feel flattered in your clothes is when you're feeling like things aren't working for you. So there's no reason to wait to lose the weight. So again, when you're looking at a piece of clothing, you want it to flatter your horizontal body type. That is your silhouette. That is your shape, right? Your outline of your body. You want it to flatter your vertical body type. And for vertical body type, I use a system called the Fashion Fit Formula. It's very specific in that it gives you the lengths of your clothing to 1/8 of an inch. So really, how long and short should your tops be? How long and short should your bottoms be? Where should your clothes intersect on your body? So you're looking at your outline of your body. You're looking at your vertical body. Do you have a long torso or short torso? Do you have long legs? Do you have short legs? Are you balanced? And then you're looking at your features of your body, right? Do you have a full bust or a not so full bust? Do you have a rounded tummy or a flatter tummy? Do you have a fuller bum? Flatter bum? Do you have bigger thighs or skinnier thighs? How do you feel about your calves? How do you feel about your arms? How do you feel about your elbows? How do you feel, just the features of your body. So we're looking at 3 different things: your horizontal body type, your outline; your vertical body type, your torso versus, hey, your legs and how they are in proportion to each other. And then you're looking at your features on your body, the unique characteristics of your body that make your body just your body. I think it's unbelievable, in spite of the fact that we, try to identify certain body types and we identify certain silhouettes, and we hear pear, hourglass, or apple, or whatever. None of those terms are used in my program, because I don't want to compare you guys to a fruit. I have a program that I'll be talking about now, or a body type system that I'll be sharing with you if you haven't heard it before, that really just kind of takes those comparisons away from looking at your body, because we're all uniquely and wonderfully and fearfully made. And I'm so passionate about that. We're fearfully and wonderfully made. So there are not just 3 or 5 or 27 or 6 million bodies in the world. No 2 women are alike. And so when we look at your horizontal, your vertical, and your features, we get a true representation definition of your unique body. So let's look at the horizontal for a second, because that is something that I've shared publicly. Some of you guys may be a little bit familiar with my horizontal body typing system. It is called the Style Dial, and I am going to split that up so you can see it. So the Style Dial, it's a trademark of Rev Shop. This is the body type system that I use throughout all of my programs. And I love the simplicity and the fact that we don't refer to your body as a fruit or a geometric shape. We're really just putting a color on each of the general horizontal body shapes. So let's try to see if we can identify, hey, so glad. Let's try to see if we can identify your horizontal body type. And if you already know it, we're gonna lean in a little bit more, and we're going to identify what works for you, like what really, really works for your specific body. Okay, so let me get us to the next slide. Okay, so let's talk first about the Style Dial Red body type. You may be a Style Dial Red if your shoulders and hips are about the same width. They are in proportion to each other, your shoulders and your hips, and your waist is defined. By defined, I mean 2 inches smaller than your shoulders or your hips. So if your waist is 2 inches or more smaller than your shoulders or hips, and your shoulders or hips are the same, then you are probably a Style Dial Red body type. So I want you to see that picture a little more. So let's go on to the next. Okay, I'm going to show you an example of a couple of Style Dial Red women. So this has nothing, again, to do with size. You're going to be a Style Dial Red at any size. So it's really, really helpful to kind of have that as a way of looking at your body type regardless of your size. So you'll see 2 women, 2 different sizes here that are both Style Dial Reds. Again, it means your shoulders and hips are proportional to each other, and your waistline is defined. Comment if you know that you are a Style Dial Red. Now let's talk about, here's another Style Dial Red. You can see different size, but the same silhouette, the same outline to her body. She has shoulders and hips that are in proportion to each other and a defined waist, right? Yay. Okay, so glad to see you here. Hi, Jana. I can't see everybody's names. Some of you, I can see your names. Some of you, I can't. But if you want to comment, let me know what your names are. Then I can say hi to you specifically. But I'm so excited you guys are here. Okay, so if you're a Style Dial Red, let me know in the comments. I am a Style Dial Red. This is my body type. Style Dial Red in some systems is referred to as an hourglass. A lot of times when people think of hourglass, they think you have to be curvy. But if you look at the woman here, she's not curvy. She's not curvy, but she's got that waist definition, and she's got a proportional body type with a defined waist. You think you are? Okay, awesome. So if your shoulders and hips line up with each other and your waist is defined, then you could be a Style Dial Red. We're going to get into a couple of the others, and hopefully one of these is going to kind of jump out at you as your silhouette. Okay, now let's talk about what works for you as a Style Dial Red, because that is what we're going to be doing this week. We're going to be pulling things from your wardrobe that work for you and figuring out why some things work and some things don't, and then putting them together into outfits, right? So if you're a Style Dial Red, one of the things that you want to look for is a vertical neckline. Vertical neckline meaning a V-neck, a button down, any details in your neckline that make it vertical. If you're wearing a horizontal neckline like I am as a Style Dial Red, then a long necklace can help you achieve that vertical line. Especially a long necklace that's got a little heft to it or a little shape to it will create that vertical line. But that vertical neckline is a really flattering and important component of being a Style Dial Red. Okay, the most flattering dress pants. I mean, you can do a skinny if you're comfortable with a skinny silhouette with your body type. With your size. If you're comfortable with a skinny silhouette, everyone can do a skinny. But a boot cut or a graduated flare pant is going to be super, super flattering on your body type. And fortunately, those are finally back. So for those of you who have been dreading skinnies and not loving skinnies and wanting some more options, you can do a boot cut, you can do a graduated flare, and you can do a tapered leg. If you're going to do a tapered leg pant, you want a little bit more fit. You want it to be a little bit snugger at the hem. So We talked about vertical necklines. We talked about boot cut, a graduated flare, tapered, or skinny pants as your best pants option. And then you also, if you like skirts and you're a skirt person, a pencil skirt is amazing for a Style Dial red. Style Dial red and a Style Dial purple can wear a pencil skirt better than anybody else. So pencil skirt really comes in at the hem. So a lot of times skirts are called pencil skirts and they're really straight skirts. You're looking for a skirt that does this. It goes in at the hem. That's a true pencil skirt. So one of the things that I want you to do over the course of this week is I want you to start identifying the silhouettes that work for you and the silhouettes that don't work for you. So for example, talking about a vertical neckline, right? So where does that vertical neckline hit on your body? Do you have a full bust? Maybe you want that vertical line to hit higher. Do you have, features here that you want to camouflage? Maybe you're going to go higher. Do you want to go a little bit lower because that's a better vertical neckline for you? Like, what are the specifics? What do the specifics of these items? So I'm giving you some generalities here for Style Dial red: vertical neckline, boot cut, flare, skinny. But your specific features on your body are going to dictate which of these details and how they show up in your clothing. So I want you to start a list now, and I want you to grab a piece of paper. Hey, Maria, I want you to grab a piece of paper and I want you to make a line down the side. And on one side, I want you to write what works for me. And on the other side, I want you to write what doesn't work for me. And this is going to be something you're going to work on all week long. So in terms of shapes, in terms of silhouettes, what works for me? V-necks. What doesn't work for me? Boat necks, for example. What works for me? Fitted sweaters. What doesn't work for me? Slouchy sweaters. I want you to keep a list, a running list. I really want you to start paying attention to the silhouettes that work. I'm giving you, like I said, general guidelines based on your Style Dial color. But I want you to come up with the specifics and to fill in the blanks and fill in the details about what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And again, that's where the Facebook group comes in really handy. Share pictures if you're on the fence about something. If you really don't know if a specific silhouette, top, bottom, skirt, whatever, works for you or not, go ahead and pop in the Facebook group, share that, share an image of that item, and we will give you the feedback about that. That's why you're here. That's why we're doing what we're doing. Okay, so now I've covered Style Dial red. So just a quick overview: vertical neckline, pencil skirts and A-line skirts work for everybody. Pencil skirts are amazing for Style Dial red. You're looking for a boot cut or a graduated flare. The two universal pant silhouettes: tapered leg that goes in a little bit more at the knee, at the bottom, and a skinny pant, if that's something you're comfortable with. So those are the Style Dial red silhouettes. Let's go on to the next, Style Dial purple. Style Dial purple is similar to a Style Dial red, but your waistline is straightening out. So maybe you've always had a slightly straighter waistline. That means that your waist is less than 2 inches smaller than your shoulders or hips. Or maybe as you've gotten older, as you've gone through menopause, your waistline is straightening out a little. So Style Dial purple has proportional hips to shoulders and a slightly straighter waistline. So let's look at a Style Dial purple here. So again, hips and shoulders are proportional. The waistline is defined, still defined, but not as defined as a Style Dial red. So again, the definition of a defined waistline is that it's 2 inches or more smaller than your shoulders or hips. So if your waistline is not 2 inches or more smaller than your shoulders or hips, you may have a Style Dial purple body type. Okay, here's another Style Dial purple just to show you size and individual features are not what we're looking at here. We're looking at your silhouette. So it's going to be consistent across different sizes. Okay, Style Dial purple body type. You want ruching, gathering, draping, zhuzhing. You want all the details that can kind of help you define that waistline and create that kind of defined waist look that we all know is really flattering. So horizontal neckline, a vertical neckline and a horizontal neckline, you can do both, but a vertical neckline is really going to be your most flattering. The most flattering pant is a boot cut or a graduated flare, just like a Style Dial red. So you're going to have the same details. The only thing that's really going to differentiate you from a Style Dial red in terms of your clothing is that you want more ruching, gathering or draping, and you want more of that, that flattery in the waistline. You want to do things that will define your waistline a little bit more. Otherwise, you're looking at pencil skirt, graduated flare, boot cut, and a vertical neckline, just like a Style Dial Red. Okay, I'm going to be sharing these images in the Facebook group so that you guys can kind of dive into them a little bit deeper and see what I'm sharing. Okay. Okay, Style Dial Orange. Style Dial Orange body type, if you used to know the old system, this would have been a Style Dial 2. Style Dial 2 has narrower shoulders, often sloping shoulders, a defined waist, and more shape in the hip bum and thighs. So comment and let me know if you think that you're a Style Dial 2. That means you have more shape in the lower half of your body than the upper half of your body. If we were to draw the outline of your body would be narrower at the shoulders and more curvy at the hips, bum, and thighs. Again, this has nothing to do with size. This has to do with your silhouette, right? So here is a Style Dial orange body type. So as you can see, she has narrow shoulders and more curve in her hips, bum, and thighs, right? This is actually the most common American body type, is a Style Dial orange. Okay, so as a Style Dial orange, a horizontal neckline, interest at the top is going to be really, really flattering. Your goal is to kind of accentuate your shoulders, possibly broaden your shoulders a little bit, because when you broaden your shoulders, your waist looks even more defined and your hips look in proportion to your shoulders. So any interest at the top, you're a purple, yay! An orange, yay. Okay, we have a couple of oranges. We have a purple. I'm so glad you guys are starting to see your body type in here. So as a Style Dial orange, you want those horizontal necklines. So a scoop neck, a boat neck, if it works for you, any detail up here at the shoulders, any detail along the top third of your blouse is going to be really, really flattering. So if you're wearing a vertical neckline, then cheat and add a statement necklace, and you're going to pull the interest up here, which is where you want it as a Style Dial orange. Okay, a straight leg pant is amazing for you as a dress pant. Again, you can do a skinny, a straight leg pant, a graduated flare, and a more flowy tapered leg pant are all going to be really, really flattering for you as a Style Dial orange. So for skirts, you want to look for an A-line skirt, a circle skirt, anything with interest at the hem, and you want to keep the area around the hips, bum, and thighs simple, streamlined, neutral, not any extra detail there. You want that area to be quiet. You want all the fun to be up here, right? So that is a Style Dial orange body type. Okay, Style Dial green body type. Style Dial green body type is related to the Style Dial orange, but her waistline is not as defined. This is the former Style Dial 2-3 body type. So you can see this beauty has more shape in her hips and thighs than she does in her shoulders. Her shoulders are relatively narrow, but she has a less defined waistline. Again, we define a defined waistline in that it's more than 2 inches smaller than your shoulders or hips. So her waistline is not more than 2 inches smaller than her shoulders and hips. So this is a Style Dial green body type. So let's talk about the clothes for Style Dial green. Again, you're looking at most of the same silhouettes as a Style Dial orange, but you want more detail at the waistline, ruching and gathering and draping that are really going to define your waistline and create that lovely defined waist that is so flattering, right? So ruching, gathering, draping whenever possible at the waistline, a shirred top, a ruched top, a wrap top, but you want that vertical neckline. You want a straight leg or a graduated flare pant. Those are going to be beautiful for you, and an A-line skirt, just like a Style Dial orange. Okay. Now we're going to be talking about a Style Dial blue body type. Style Dial blue body type is what I refer to as the supermodel. This is a straighter body type. Your shoulders and hips are proportional to each other, but your waist is not defined. It's straighter. And so let's look at a Style Dial 3 body type. If your shoulders extend past your hips, you are a Style Dial blue or formerly Style Dial 3. But if your shoulders extend past your hips, your shoulders are broader than your hips, then you're a Style Dial blue body type. Or if your shoulders line up with your hips, but you don't have definition in your waist, you're also a Style Dial blue. So let me know, hey, Sandra, you're a Style Dial purple. Yes. Okay, so with a broader shoulder, so you said 104 centimeters on the shoulders and 83 at the waist. I'd have to do that I'd have to do that in inches. But let me get back to you on that. I'm pretty sure that's a defined waistline, but I would just have to crunch some numbers. So you want, again, like I said, the difference needs to be about 2 inches. So if you see that curve in your waistline, you probably have a more defined waist. If it's very subtle, you have a slightly less defined waist. If it's completely straight, then which yours is not, then you've got an undefined waist. You're a blue, Annette. Yes, you are. Style Dial Purple. You think you're a blue. Yay, I'm glad you're here. The replay will be available in the group and on YouTube, so you'll be able to watch it there if you missed the beginning. So it's a Style Dial Blue. Your shoulders may be broader than your hips, or they may be the same as your hips, and your waist is not defined. The reason I call this the supermodel is because a lot of supermodels have this body type. Orange, yay. Okay, I'm so glad you guys are jumping in and identifying your body types. So let me go to the next slide if I can. Okay, as a Style Dial Blue, you want a vertical neckline. So a long necklace can help you create a vertical neckline if you're not wearing a vertical neckline in your shirt, but a V-neck, a button down, any vertical necklines. Wrap tops are amazing on you. V-neck tops with ruching, gathering, draping to define your waist. You are the queen of ruching, gathering, draping. Those are all going to be beautiful details on you. A wrap dress is incredible on you, especially if it's got a little bit extra gathering and draping in that waistline area. You look amazing in theatrical and dramatic silhouettes. If your shoulders are not broad, you can do a really cool, interesting shoulder because that will help to define your waistline. You can also do really cool and interesting details around your hips, bum, and thighs because that will, again, give you a little bit more shape there and help you define your waistline. You're changing to a blue. Okay, that can definitely happen as your waistline straightens out. You probably can go from a Style Dial red to a purple when your waistline straightens out a little bit to a blue if your waistline has really straightened out. If you tend to have a shorter torso, you tend to put on weight around your middle area, you may be a Style Dial Blue. The most flattering dress pant for Style Dial Blue is a graduated flare, which creates shape and defines your waist. So you can go the baggier leg silhouettes that are everywhere in style right now. Those are amazing for you. So as a Style Dial Blue, embrace this season's flowy leg pant, and you can't go wrong. Again, that's going to help you create that definition in your waist. A-line, circle, and straight skirts are best for you. So you know, your goal is to build up the shoulder area. If the shoulder is not already broad, build up the hip area and define the waist. Because if you add a little more structure to the shoulder and add a little more structure to the hip, your waist is going to naturally look a little more defined. And then if you add that gathering, ruching, and draping to the waist area, that's just going to be magical. So a lot of times I see a Style Dial Blue wearing like baggier tunic tops and skinny pants and skinny leggings. You want to try the opposite. You want to try a more fitted top with that detail, vertical detail and ruching and gathering and draping, and a less fitted bottom. Try reversing that silhouette and seeing how that works for you. Okay, so today's challenge, because I promised you I would keep this short and I'm already going over my time. Today's challenge is to create a what works for me list and a what doesn't work for me list. I want you to make get a piece of paper, divide it in half, and on one side write what works for me, on the other side write what doesn't work for me. I want you to go into your closet. I want you to pull out some tops and some bottoms. I want you to pull out your best tops, and I want you to take notes. So you know that success leaves clues, right? What works about the tops that are your favorites, that are your go-tos, that you reach for over and over again, besides that they fit or that they're comfortable? What is flattering about them? And what is unflattering about the things that you don't reach for, that you end up putting back again and again, that when you put them on, you kind of feel off all day? I want you to do that with tops. I want you to do that with bottoms. I want you to start really keeping a very detailed list, because again, we just looked at your horizontal outline here, right? We just looked at your horizontal outline. What I want you to do is I want you to pay attention to your overall, I want to make sure you guys can see me. Okay, you're seeing both. Okay. I want you to pay attention to your overall body. So some of these principles are going to work better for you than others, depending on the length of your torso, how short and long your torso is, how short and long your legs are, whether you have a full bust or full bum or a full tummy, or you like your arms, you don't like your arms. So you want to lean into these principles and figure out how to make them your own. So we're going to start here. We're going to start with your horizontal body type, knowing your horizontal body type. And then how can you take these principles that you've learned about your horizontal body type and make them your own, and figure out specifically what that looks like for you, specifically what's an amazing top for you, specifically what are your best pants, what is your best skirt, what is your best jacket or your best dress, and go ahead and share it in the Facebook group. I want you to share what you've learned about your body type. What are your best silhouettes? What are your least best? What are your worst silhouettes? Share them in the Facebook group. That's your challenge for today. Let's really, really think about what works and what doesn't for you and why, because you're going to need this information going forward. And if you can start pulling the things in your closet that are working and putting them at the front of your closet and really paying attention to why those work, you're going to be ahead of 97.5% of women who are out there shopping without that self-knowledge, without a plan, without knowing the key silhouettes that flatter their body types. You're going to be way, way ahead of the game. And then when you're putting together outfits, you're going to know why some things are working and why some things are not. So start pulling those items from your closet and creating that what works for me and what doesn't work for me list. And I will see you in the Facebook group.